The internet exploded over one missing photo. Not a performance mistake. Not a scandal. Not a controversy. A photo. And somehow, that single moment became so massive that even the president of FIFA had to respond publicly. But what shocked fans even more was what he said next about Jimin. Because after millions of ARMYs noticed that Jimin's image was missing from promotional content connected to BTS, emotions exploded across social media within minutes. Fans were angry, confused, heartbroken. How could they leave Jimin out? Do they realize how important he is? This doesn't feel right. The hashtag spread like wildfire. Videos analyzing the missing image gained millions of views overnight. And then something unbelievable happened. FIFA's president stepped forward and apologized. Not only that, he openly acknowledged something ARMY has known for years. That Jimin is not just another member. He is an essential part of BTS. And suddenly, what began as frustration transformed into one of the most emotional global conversations ARMY had seen in years. The timing couldn't have been bigger. BTS were already dominating headlines across America. From explosive concerts in Tampa to emotional nights in Stanford, the group had once again proven why they remain global superstars. Everywhere they went, stadiums shook. Fans cried. Social media exploded. And one member in particular kept becoming the center of attention. Jimin. At every concert, his visuals went viral. His performances trended instantly. And his emotional connection with fans became impossible to ignore. American fans called him angelic. Others described him as unreal. Even people attending BTS concerts for the first time couldn't stop talking about him. He's mesmerizing. He doesn't even look human. He has this energy that makes you emotional instantly. That was the atmosphere surrounding BTS when the controversy suddenly appeared online. At first, many fans thought it was an accident. Maybe an editing mistake. Maybe a misunderstanding. But as screenshots spread, frustration grew rapidly. ARMY began demanding answers. Because to fans, Jimin's absence felt impossible to ignore. And if you understand BTS, then you understand why. Jimin isn't simply a performer inside the group. He is one of the emotional pillars of BTS itself. His voice carries vulnerability. His performances radiate passion. And his warmth has comforted millions of people worldwide. For many fans, Jimin represents tenderness, perseverance, and emotional honesty. So seeing him excluded, even unintentionally, felt deeply personal. Then the situation escalated. Major fan accounts started posting emotional messages. Clips of Jimin performing in America resurfaced everywhere. Moments of him comforting members. Moments of him crying during speeches. Moments where his sincerity transformed entire stadiums into oceans of tears. And suddenly the conversation became bigger than one image. People weren't just defending Jimin's presence. They were defending his importance. Meanwhile, across America, BTS continued their tour schedule. In Stanford, fans still packed the stadium hours before showtime. Purple lights filled the streets. ARMYs sang BTS songs together outside the venue. But beneath the excitement, the online discussion continued growing. Would FIFA respond? Would anyone acknowledge the situation? No one knew. And then, unexpectedly, the answer arrived. A statement began circulating online. Fans froze as they read the words. The president of FIFA apologized for the omission and emphasized that Jimin is an important part of BTS. That sentence alone sent shockwaves through social media. Because this wasn't some random clarification. This was one of the most powerful sports organizations in the world publicly recognizing Jimin's significance. And ARMY became emotional instantly. Some fans cried reading the statement. Others felt relieved. Many simply felt seen. Because for fans, this wasn't about demanding perfection. It was about recognition. Recognition of someone who has poured his heart into every performance, every stage, every interaction for years. And perhaps what made the apology resonate so deeply was how true the statement felt. Jimin truly is essential to BTS. Not because he tries to dominate attention, but because of the emotional color he brings to the group. Think about it. Who turns performances into emotional experiences with a single expression? Who can make an entire stadium scream 1 second, then cry the next? Who carries elegance and vulnerability so naturally that millions feel connected to him without even speaking the same language? Jimin. That emotional power cannot be replaced. And America witnessed it firsthand during the recent concerts. In Tampa, fans lost their minds the moment Jimin appeared on the giant screen. The screams became deafening. Phones shook. Some fans literally forgot to sing along because they were too stunned watching him perform. Then Stanford happened. And somehow, Jimin became even more unforgettable. Every night, his visuals trended online. Every gesture became viral. One smile from him could send an entire crowd into chaos. But the deeper reason fans connected to him had nothing to do with appearance. It was the sincerity behind everything he did. There was one moment during the Stanford concerts that perfectly captured this. Jimin stood quietly at the edge of the stage while ARMY chanted his name. Thousands of voices echoed through the stadium. And instead of reacting dramatically, Jimin simply smiled shyly and placed his hand over his heart. That tiny gesture shattered people emotionally. Because it felt genuine. Real. Unfiltered. And those are the moments that define Jimin. Not perfection. Humanity. That's why fans reacted so strongly to the missing image controversy. Because Jimin's presence means something deeply emotional to millions of people. He's not just admired. He's cherished.
As the FIFA apology continued spreading, conversations shifted from anger to appreciation. Fans began sharing stories about how Jimin had impacted their lives. Some talked about finding comfort in his words during difficult times. Others described how his performances inspired them to regain confidence. Many simply expressed gratitude that someone so globally admired still feels incredibly humble and kind. And perhaps that is what makes Jimin's popularity so unique. People aren't only drawn to his talent, they are drawn to his heart. Even other celebrities often seem captivated by him. Interviewers soften around him. Hosts compliment his politeness. Industry professionals praise his professionalism and charisma. And fans in America repeatedly noticed the same thing during the tour. No matter how massive the screams became, no matter how overwhelming the attention was, Jimin always remained gentle. He bowed respectfully, thanked fans sincerely, and treated every interaction like it mattered. That humility only made the public love him more. Meanwhile, clips from the concerts continued dominating social media. One video of Jimin smiling during a Stanford encore gained millions of views almost instantly. Comments flooded in from people all around the world. I understand why everyone loves him. He has the kindest eyes. He feels comforting. No wonder fans defended him so passionately. And honestly, those comments explain everything. Because when people defend Jimin, they aren't only protecting an idol. They're protecting the emotional connection he created with them. A connection built through years of honesty, vulnerability, artistry, and care. As the tour in America reached its emotional conclusion, the atmosphere surrounding Jimin felt different. More intense, more appreciative. Fans cheered louder, held banners higher, and treasured every moment a little more carefully. Perhaps because controversies like this remind people not to take meaningful artists for granted. During the final Stanford concert, Jimin looked especially emotional. He smiled often, But there were moments where he simply stared out into the crowd quietly, as if trying to absorb the energy around him. And when fans screamed his name, the emotion on his face became impossible to hide. Because I think Jimin understands something important. He understands that love from fans is not something to treat casually. That's why his interactions feel sincere. That's why people trust him emotionally. And that's why one missing photo sparked such a powerful global reaction. Because people care deeply about him, not only as an artist, but as a person. Near the end of the concert, purple lights filled every corner of Stanford Stadium. The members stood together, exhausted but smiling. And Jimin looked out at the crowd with that familiar softness in his eyes. The same softness that comforts fans worldwide. The same warmth that made millions defend him online. The same emotional presence FIFA itself publicly acknowledged as essential to BTS. In that moment, something became very clear. Jimin's importance cannot be measured by screen time, promotional images, or headlines alone. His true impact exists in the feelings he leaves behind. The comfort, the inspiration, the emotional connection. And those things are impossible to erase. So maybe the apology mattered for one simple reason. It reminded the world of something fans already knew. Jimin is unforgettable, not because he demands attention, but because his sincerity naturally captures hearts everywhere he goes. From Korea to America, from stadiums to social media, from ARMY to global audiences discovering him for the first time. People see Jimin and feel something real. And honestly, that kind of impact is rare. So let me ask you this. What do you think makes Jimin so deeply loved around the world? His kindness, his performances, his emotional sincerity, or the way he makes millions feel understood without even trying? Tell me in the comments. And if this story reminded you why Jimin means so much to ARMY, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more emotional BTS moments that deserve to be remembered forever.